Hi, I'm Brandon, 29, and yesterday I got an email that made me wonder if I'd accidentally joined a dystopian version of The Truman Show where my girlfriend was producing the season finale titled, Surprise Vasectomy, You're Welcome. Subject line. Your vasectomy consultation is confirmed for next Tuesday. My first reaction was, what the hell? Followed by, no, seriously, what the actual hell? Because I had never, not once, scheduled any such thing. I opened the email expecting spam or a phishing scam. Nope. Real clinic. Real doctor. Real instructions on shaving, abstaining, bringing athletic support, recovery time, and even a nice little PDF titled, Vasectomy and You. What there wasn't? My consent. I called the clinic immediately. The receptionist answered like this happened every day. Hi, Men's Wellness Clinic, this is Sierra. Hi. Yeah. I just got a confirmation email for a vasectomy consultation, but I didn't schedule anything. Let me check. Typing sounds. Yes, scheduled last Thursday by Danielle Foster. She said you were very busy and asked her to handle scheduling. Danielle Foster. My girlfriend. Of 18 months. Who I live with. Who I thought I knew. I sat there holding the phone like it was a live grenade. Please cancel it. Of course. Done. Would you like to reschedule? No. Thank you. Hung up. Stared at my screen. She scheduled me for a vasectomy consultation behind my back. Not as a joke. Not as a, haha babe, wouldn't it be funny if, but as a decision. A permanent reproductive choice booked like a teeth cleaning. Danielle got home around 6. I was making pasta. Trying to act normal. I needed to see how she'd play it. She kissed my cheek, poured a glass of wine, and asked, How was your day? Interesting. I got a weird email. She sipped. Yeah? Vasectomy consultation. Next Tuesday. There was a half-second freeze, then she turned with a bright smile. Oh good. The clinic got back to you. Got back to me? I didn't schedule anything. I know, silly. I did. Figured I'd save you the hassle since you're always so busy. She said it like she'd done my laundry. Or booked my dentist. You scheduled me for a vasectomy consultation without asking? We've talked about not wanting kids. We've talked about not wanting them right now. Not permanently eliminating the possibility. She waved that off. It's reversible. You're overthinking. It's not always reversible. And that's not the point. The point is, you made a medical decision about my body without my consent. She narrowed her eyes. Okay, don't be dramatic. I'm just being proactive. I've been on birth control since I was 16. 11 years of hormones. I'm done with that. Condoms suck. So yes, I think it's time you stepped up. Asking me is fine. Deciding for me isn't. She slammed her glass on the counter. Why are you being so difficult? It's one appointment. Just go talk to the doctor. I didn't schedule the surgery. I stared at her. I already canceled it. She blinked. You what? I called. Cancelled. I'm not going. That's incredibly immature. What's immature is thinking you can schedule medical procedures for someone without their knowledge. She grabbed her phone and started typing. This is ridiculous. I'm rescheduling it. Don't. Someone has to be the adult here and think about our future. Then think about therapy. Because this behavior isn't normal. That got her attention. She looked up from her screen. Excuse me? You need to talk to someone about boundaries. About bodily autonomy. I don't need therapy. I need a partner who isn't selfish. I turned off the stove. My appetite was gone. You want off birth control? Cool. Let's discuss alternatives. But you don't get to decide what happens to my reproductive system. That's not negotiable. She scoffed, grabbed a pillow and blanket, and stormed to the couch. And that was when I got an idea. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Oh, absolutely. I opened my laptop. Googled therapists accepting new patients near me. Found a clinical psychologist with evening appointments and great reviews. Filled out the new patient form. Name, Danielle Foster. Phone, her number. Email, Her personal one. Reason for visit: difficulty respecting partner boundaries. Controlling behavior. Needs help understanding bodily autonomy concepts. Book the session for Wednesday, 6 p.m. Prepaid. $180. Non-refundable if cancelled less than 24 hours in advance. Confirmation email sent. The next morning, she shrieked from the bedroom. Brandon! What the hell is this? I walked in calmly. She was sitting in bed, laptop open. Appointment confirmation? For therapy? I nodded. I scheduled it for you. Figured I'd save you the hassle since you're so busy. She stared at me like I'd thrown a grenade. You did not. I did. And then I smiled. Interesting logic, right? She launched a pillow at my face. It bounced off with a satisfying thwomp. You think this is funny? She yelled. You think therapy is a joke? Nope. I said, dead serious now. I think you need it. And so does every adult who thinks your body, my choice, is a reasonable argument in a relationship. Danielle was pacing now. Cancel it. Right now. Can't. Already paid. Non-refundable. Then give me the money. Why would I pay you for therapy you clearly need? She looked like she might explode. Because you spent my name to book it. I also used my credit card. So really, we're even. You scheduled an unwanted medical consult for me. I scheduled a mental health consult for you. Fair's fair. This is not the same thing. Why not? You said the consultation wasn't surgery. Well, therapy isn't commitment. Just a chat, right? Not a big deal. Brandon, I swear to God. What? You'll schedule more appointments behind my back? She stormed out, muttering curses, and slammed the door behind her. I wasn't sure where she went. To her sister's? Her best friend Maya's? All I knew was I had the place to myself again. And for the first time in 24 hours I felt calm. Until the text started rolling in. First, Veronica, her sister. You're seriously twisted for doing this to her. Scheduling therapy to punish her? What is wrong with you? Then, Danielle. Hope you're happy. I'm staying at Veronica's. I need space. Followed by, you're being emotionally abusive. And then my personal favorite. You need therapy more than I do. I didn't reply to any of them. The silence stretched across the weekend. Sunday night, I got a ping from my credit card confirming the payment for the therapy session had cleared. $180. Still worth every cent. Monday morning, I left for work without hearing from her. Tuesday, I got a single text. Still waiting on my refund. Didn't answer. Wednesday, 4:52 p.m. My phone rang. Unknown number. I picked up. Mr. Patterson? This is Kelly from Dr. Newberry's office. I'm calling about this evening's appointment. Right. The one for Danielle Foster. Yes. She called earlier, very upset, saying the appointment was made without her consent. Correct. But our records show it was booked using her email and phone number. The payment was processed. She hasn't formally cancelled. Because she can't. It's under the 24-hour window. Non-refundable. A pause. Understood. So, just confirming, you were the one who booked the appointment? Yes. In response to her booking a medical consultation for me, without my consent. It was intended to illustrate a boundary violation. Another pause. Longer this time. That's certainly an unconventional approach to conflict resolution. She scheduled a vasectomy consultation for me. Oh. Exactly. If she attends, would you like her to sign a release so Dr. Newberry can share any notes with you? No. Her therapy is her business. I just want her to talk to someone who'll explain what bodily autonomy means. Fair enough. The appointment stands. At 6:45, I got a text from an unknown number. Just a photo. Danielle. Sitting in a chair in what looked very much like a therapy office. Arms crossed. Face like thunder. The caption said, "Your girlfriend is here and she's big mad. Thought you'd want proof." Kelly, the receptionist, apparently. Unethical? Probably. Satisfying? Definitely. Danielle came home at 8:04. I was reading on the couch. She tossed her bag on the counter with a thud. Stood there. Well? She said. Well, what? Therapy. I went. Congratulations. You win. How was it? She let out a laugh, sharp, bitter. You know what she asked me? How did it make you feel when your boyfriend scheduled this for you? Like I was the crazy one. You are literally describing therapy, Danielle. I told her the whole thing. About the vasectomy. About you being unreasonable. About me being tired of birth control. And you know what she said? What? She said bodily autonomy goes both ways. That what I've been dealing with is valid. That it's okay to be done with birth control. But that doesn't give me the right to make decisions for you. Especially medical ones. Smart lady. She said she understood why you booked the appointment. That maybe it wasn't kind. But it made the point. Did it? Danielle sat down on the far end of the couch. Drew her knees to her chest. Hugged them. I'm still mad at you. I'm still mad at you too. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. More real. I really hate hormonal birth control. She whispered. It makes me feel crazy. My skin breaks out. I gain weight. I cry over TV commercials. Okay. Then let's figure something else out. Together. She looked at me, finally, not glaring, not defensive. Just tired. What if nothing else works? What if condoms suck and IUDs hurt and the non-hormonal stuff fails? Then we keep trying. Or we reassess. But we do it together. You don't get to make medical decisions for me without a conversation. I know, she whispered. Dr. Newberry made that very clear. We sat in silence. Then, finally, I'm sorry. Are you sorry for not asking first, or sorry for thinking you had the right? She swallowed hard. Both. Thank you. Are we okay? I didn't answer right away. It's not just about the vasectomy thing, Danielle. It's the t-shirts. The office. The chair. You keep making decisions about my life like I'm a project you're managing. I know, she said quietly. And it has to stop. For real. I hope you mean that. I do. She wiped her eyes. Dr. Newberry said I have control issues. Something about my parents' divorce. Being the fixer. Whatever. She wants to work through it. You should. Will you come with me? Not to my sessions. But like, couples counseling? If you're serious about fixing this? Yeah. I will. We sat there, side by side, not touching but not at war. For the first time in days, it felt like a truce. Fragile, but real. For what it's worth, she said with a sniff. The therapy thing? Kind of genius. Evil. But genius. Learn from the best. She threw another pillow at me. Missed this time. But she smiled. 3 months later, I would look back at what happened next and realize it was the moment everything either came undone, or started to actually hold. But at the time, it felt like the whole relationship was balanced on the tip of a needle. Danielle kept going to therapy. Weekly. No reminders needed. No guilt-tripping. Just a quiet, persistent effort. At first I waited for it to fall apart. For her to come home one day and say, "This isn't working." Or worse, "You're the problem, actually." That's what Dr. Newberry said. But she didn't. Instead, she started asking questions before moving furniture. Didn't throw out my stuff. Even asked before adjusting the thermostat, which had never once been a conversation before. I caught her Googling alternative birth control methods one night, bookmarking tabs instead of immediately pitching ideas at me. That might sound small. But when you've lived with someone who thought every decision had to be theirs, small becomes seismic. 2 weeks after our pillow-throwing truce, she brought it up again, carefully, gently. "I've been reading about IUDs," she said one night over dinner. "Apparently a lot of women have good experiences. Fewer hormones. Long-term." I nodded. "Yeah, I've read that too. I was scared of the insertion. Like, irrationally. The pain stories online. Yikes. I mean, that's valid. It does sound intense." She shrugged. "I think I want to try. My doctor recommended it years ago, but I brushed it off. I wasn't ready. But now, I want something that doesn't make me feel insane. Do you want me to come with you? She smiled. No. I think I need to do it myself. But thank you. She went. Came home pale and a little hunched, but triumphant. It wasn't as bad as I thought, she said. And it already feels better knowing the hormones are fading. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Progress. Then came the idea, couples counseling. From her. Dr. Newberry said if I'm serious about change, I need to do this work with you, not just next to you. She was right. So we started going every other week. I'd love to say it was a magical relationship reboot full of breakthroughs and laughter. It wasn't. It was awkward. Uncomfortable. We fought on the way there, sat in silence during some sessions, and left a few times more angry than when we arrived. But we also learned things about each other we never said out loud. Like how I'd always feared being bulldozed in a relationship because my dad was the same way. And how she learned to control everything because as a kid, chaos was the only other option. Our therapist, Julie, was this calm, brutally insightful woman with a cardigan collection and a stare that could burn through steel. One session, she looked at me and asked, "Why didn't you just leave, Brandon? After the vasectomy incident?" I hesitated. Then answered honestly. Because, even when she screws up, she listens. She's smart, and funny, and driven. And when she's not trying to project manage my life, I love being around her. I didn't want to throw that away. I wanted her to see it. See what she was doing. Julie nodded. Then turned to Danielle. "And why didn't you leave?" Danielle bit her lip. Thought about it. Because he didn't scream. He didn't manipulate. He didn't make me feel crazy. He just held up a mirror and let me look. And it hurt. But it helped. That moment cracked something open between us. Real accountability has a strange intimacy to it. It's hard to stay defensive when someone takes the time to tell you exactly how they were hurt, and doesn't make it your entire personality. It didn't make everything perfect. We still argued. Once, we nearly went nuclear over grocery shopping. She bought $80 worth of vegetables that went bad in 2 days. I asked why. She said I didn't offer to go. I said I didn't know we were out of food. She said, "That's the problem, you never notice." But in the middle of that fight, she stopped. "You're right," she said. "I didn't ask what you wanted. I just assumed." It was the first time she caught herself mid-pattern. And it mattered. But outside our bubble? Not everyone was celebrating our progress. Especially not Veronica. Danielle's sister had always been Team Danielle, no matter what. She'd called me manipulative when she found out about the therapy stunt. But when she heard we were now both in therapy, she lost it. Sent me a 700-word text. "You're gaslighting her into thinking she's broken. You're acting like she's the problem when clearly you both are. I've never seen her so anxious." I read the whole thing. Then replied, "You're right. We both have issues. That's why we're both in therapy. Thanks for your concern." Then I blocked her number. Didn't need outside voices shouting over our work. Danielle didn't even protest when I told her. She just said, "Good. She means well, but she's not helping." At this point, I started to realize something profound. Setting boundaries doesn't have to come with rage. You don't need to explode to enforce respect. Sometimes you just have to be clear and consistent. 3 months after this all started, we were having dinner. Nothing fancy. Tacos and wine. She was telling me a story from work when she suddenly paused. "You know what I realized today?" "What?" "I haven't made a unilateral decision in 3 months." I laughed. "You make that sound like a badge." "It is," she said. "It's hard for me. But it feels better." Then she said something that stuck with me. "Everyone else before you just let me steamroll them. My exes. My friends. Even Veronica. You were the first person who said no and meant it. And didn't back down." I didn't know what to say to that. So I just reached for her hand. Our therapist said boundaries aren't punishments. They're expressions of respect. I was finally starting to believe that. The turning point wasn't one big speech or grand gesture. It was a series of small choices. Quiet corrections. Apologies that stuck. Patience that held. We weren't perfect. But we were honest. And that's where the healing really started. 3 more months passed. And the strangest part? We got boring. In a good way. No screaming matches. No silent treatments. No booking each other for medical procedures like a deranged version of Secret Santa. Danielle kept going to therapy. Weekly. She even showed me one of her journal entries, voluntarily. Dr. Newberry says I externalize control to feel safe. She wrote. Brandon isn't unsafe. My brain just doesn't know the difference yet. Meanwhile, I kept showing up to couples counseling, even when I was tired, even when I didn't want to. Because here's the truth no one tells you, sometimes relationships aren't ruined by huge betrayals or catastrophic failures. They're worn down by 1,000 little cuts. And if you want to stop the bleeding, you have to stitch each one. Then came the IUD follow-up. She told me shyly. My body feels like mine again. I just nodded. That's all I ever wanted, for both of us. We had setbacks, of course. One week she came home with a new rug and didn't ask where I wanted it. The old Danielle would have insisted it fit the space better. This version? She looked sheepish and said, Okay, you're right. I got excited. Want to help me move it? Big change in 5 words. Not everyone approved of our version of healing. Veronica sent Danielle a 6-paragraph essay via text titled, Why You're Losing Yourself. Classic older sister energy. Danielle didn't reply. Just showed it to me, sighed, and deleted it. We both agreed, growth is uncomfortable. And not everyone's going to clap for it. Around the 4th month mark, Danielle's therapist suggested I come in solo. Just once. She asked. Brandon, why did you stay? After she scheduled that vasectomy appointment without even talking to you? I told her the truth. Because she's not a bad person. She just had bad habits. She didn't know how to do equal. But she was willing to learn. And because I love her. Not the version who controls everything. The version who's scared she'll lose love if she doesn't. Dr. Newberry gave me a smile. She's lucky. No, I said. We're lucky. That we didn't let it kill us. Danielle kept up therapy. Weekly. She even opened up about her childhood. My dad left when I was 8. She said one night. Mom coped by controlling everything. I learned from the best. It's not an excuse, but it's a reason. We had the birth control talk again. For real this time. She admitted she was afraid of being alone in her body again, without hormonal fog, without medical intervention. Just herself. I was scared. She said. So I tried to fix it by fixing you. And now? Now I'm just trying to be a better me. Not fix anything. We kept going to therapy. We fought, sure, but we did it better. Cleaner. Slower. With fewer sharp edges. Until one night, we were on the couch. She paused the movie to say, Thank you? For what? For not walking away when you could have. For loving me enough to say no. I smiled. For what it's worth, I think scheduling that therapy appointment was probably the pettiest, most helpful thing I've ever done. She laughed. Evil genius. You learn from the best. She leaned against me. Are we good? I didn't answer right away. I looked around the apartment. At my stuff still here. My desk untouched. My shirt still folded the wrong way, but present. My space still mine, and shared. We're getting there, I said. A few days ago, we hosted her sister Veronica for dinner. It was tense but civil. Veronica still thinks I'm manipulative. She said, You turned my sister into someone who apologizes now. What did you do to her? Danielle answered for me. He didn't do anything to me. He just stopped letting me do everything to him. Mic drop. Veronica hasn't been back since. That's fine. Boundaries aren't walls. But they do have locks. We still go to therapy every other week. It's not romantic. It's not exciting. But it's honest. It's real. And last week Danielle said, You know, for someone who made me go to therapy out of spite, you kind of changed my life. Likewise, I said. Love isn't blind. It sees everything. And decides to stay when the other person starts seeing it too. That's what we're building now. Not control. Not revenge. But clarity. Respect. And a little petty brilliance. Because sometimes, the real happy ending is just knowing someone won't schedule surgery for you without asking. And you'll never have to do the same to prove the point again.